Hello, kindergartners, and welcome to another day of math with Miss Allen. I am so excited for math today because I get to tell you a couple of fun stories. So let's go ahead and get started right away. My first story is going to be all about Mr. Boland and his fun grocery store adventures. Mr. Boland loves going to the grocery store, and he loves throwing parties. So I want you to imagine Mr. Boland is throwing a party for all of the kindergarten teachers. Mr. Boland is hosting. He invited Miss Ronigan. He invited Mrs. Houselot, he invited Miss Dritz, Miss DeWert, and he invited me, Miss Allen, and we are so excited to go to his party. So he goes to the grocery store and he wants to buy some of our favorite fruit. So Mr. Boland grabs a red shopping basket and he thinks in his brain, what are some of my friends' favorite fruits? So first he thinks, Mrs. Houselot loves bananas. So he decides to buy a couple bananas. He decides to buy 4 bananas. Let's count. Make sure he gets 4 bananas. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. I accidentally deleted one, so I'm going to bring it back down. There's 4 bananas in his shopping cart. So he thinks in his brain, Mrs. DeWert really loves strawberries. So he thinks he is going to grab 4 more strawberries. Ready? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. He got 4 strawberries. So now Mr. Boland has some fruit in his basket, but how much fruit does he have? Let's see here. He has 4 bananas plus 4 strawberries. Let's see here. Let's count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mr. Boland has 8 pieces of fruit in his basket. Fun. Let's try another example. Let's pretend like Mr. Boland is having his party. All the teachers are coming over, but he wants to buy lots of fruit for us. And he thinks in his brain, Miss Allen's favorite are grapes. And he really wants to make sure I have enough grapes to eat. So he's going to buy 10 grapes for me. Are you ready to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he got 10 grapes for me. And he's going to get some more bananas. Let's see. Let's say he takes out 6 bananas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bananas. So if Mr. Boland takes out 10 grapes for me and 6 bananas for Mrs. Houselot, how much fruit does he have all together in his basket? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. He had 16 pieces of fruit in his basket. Pretty cool. Alrighty, let's try one more story. And this time, instead of adding the fruit together to see how much is in his basket, we're going to be taking away some of the fruit. So we're going to be subtracting. You got it. Let's pretend like Mr. Boland is shopping for his party that he's having. And let's pretend like he picks out 5 strawberries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he picks out 3 bananas. 1, 2, 3. And then he picks out 2 grapes. 1, 2. So let's pretend I was counting while I was taking them out. He has 10 pieces of fruit in his basket. And then let's pretend like there was a little girl at the grocery store. She really wanted some of the grapes that Mr. Boland took. So Mr. Boland gave away one of the grapes. And then there was a mom, and the mom said, Mr. Boland, those strawberries you got look perfectly ripe. Do you mind if I have those strawberries? So Mr. Boland gave away some of his strawberries as well. Mr. Boland is so kind. And then you'll never believe it, but Mr. Boland met a monkey in the grocery store. So Mr. Boland decided to give his bananas away to the monkey. He gave the monkey 2 bananas. So he gave away this fruit. He gave away 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of fruit. So 10 minus 4. How many pieces of fruit did Mr. Boland end up buying? Remember, he first picked out 10 pieces of fruit. Then he took away, by giving them to friends and monkeys, 4 pieces of fruit. So how many are left in his basket? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mr. Bullen has 6 pieces of fruit left to bring to his party. Good for Mr. Bullen. He is so kind to buy all this fruit for his friends at his party, and so kind to give away some of his pieces of fruit to people he meets in the supermarket. All right, let's keep pretending, friends. Now, Mr. Bullen gets to his house and he unpacks all of his groceries, and all of his friends come over for his party. So he has some grapes. Let's see how many he has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of grapes. And these are the friends who all want grapes. Let's see how many friends want the grapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, if person number 1 eats those grapes, person number 2 eats those grapes, person number 3 eats these grapes, and person number 4 eats those grapes, we have some grapes left over. How many do we have left over? 2. We have 2 groups of grapes left over. So there are more grapes than there are people. More means that we have more or greater amount in this group. So I'm going to write a G next to those grapes to show that they are greater. We have a greater number of grapes than we do people. So we have extra grapes. Yum, yum, yum. Let's pretend Mr. Bullen brought 4 strawberries home for his friends. And he has 5 friends who really want strawberries. This friend's going to eat that strawberry, this friend eats that strawberry, this friend eats that strawberry, and this friend eats that strawberry. But oh no, it looks like we have 1 friend who does not get a strawberry. That's too bad. I hope he's open-minded to maybe trying some of those extra grapes. So we have 1 extra person, which means we have more people than we do strawberries. So we have a greater amount of people than we do strawberries. So I'm going to draw a G to say that there is a greater amount of people than there are of strawberries. Let's keep imagining that we're at the party. And let's pretend like every grape is served with a strawberry. So you can't have just grapes, you can't have just strawberries, you have to have both. Let's see how many plates of food we can make with strawberries and grapes. So let's pretend like these grapes are paired up with those strawberries. These are paired up with those, these are paired up with those, and these are paired up with these. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 plates of food that we can make with both grapes and strawberries. But we still have 2 groups left over. So you tell me, do we have more grapes or more strawberries? Yeah, we have more grapes because we have extra grapes, which means we have more. Now, do we have a greater number of grapes or a greater number of strawberries? Remember, greater means more. Do we have greater grapes or greater strawberries? Yeah, we have greater grapes because we have more. So I'm going to draw a nice G. This is kind of a crazy G, but you know what letter it is. A G for greater because we have a greater number of grapes. Fun. I like telling you all those stories, friends. Thanks for listening. For your math workbook page today, you are going to write your first and last name because we all need our practice. So there's my first name and here's my last name. I tried my best. Next, you're going to use your erasable pencil only, and you are going to be drawing lines to match. Circle the extras, and then write the numbers and compare them. Write a G for the group that's greater, which means more, and write an L for less, which means smaller. Let's go ahead and give it a try. It looks like our workbook already did the purple example for us. So notice they matched up each one. They circled the extras. They counted how many were in each group. 5 were in the top group. 3 were in the bottom group. They wrote a G for greater and an L for less. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do this one together with the pencils. First, we're going to match them up. Awesome. We're going to circle the extras. We'll count how many are in each group. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Write the number. Count how many are in the second group. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then remember, we write a G for greater and an L for less. Which one is greater? Remember, greater means more. The top group or the bottom group? Which one is greater? Yep, the bottom group, because there's a lot more pencils. So then the top group must mean less. Let's try one more together. Ready? Let's match up the shamrocks. Circle the extras. Count how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Count how many? 1, 2. And let's pick which one is greater. Greater. 4 or 2. Greater means more, so 4 is 2 because we have more shamrocks. That means 2 must be less. I want you to try these bottom 2 all by yourself. Don't forget to match them up. Circle the extras. Write how many. And then write which one is greater and which one is less. When you are finished, you're going to flip it on to the back. And it says to count and write the number. Circle the number that is greater. They did the first one for you. They counted how many? 1, 2, 3. Wrote that number. Counted how many? 1, 2. Wrote that number. And then they circled which one was greater. Let's try these top 2 together. Count the yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one is greater? 4 or 5? 5, because that one is more. Let's try this next green one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Which one is greater? 4 or 2? 4. You're right. I want you to try your best to do these last 3. When you're done with the last 3, stop! Do not let this trick you. You'll see that there are words here. These words tell you to switch what you're doing. So you're not going to keep circling the one that's greater. Now you're going to circle the one that's less. Very good. Do not let this trick you. So you're going to stop. You're going to do the top and then stop and switch what you're doing. What you're doing is you're still counting 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But instead of circling the one that's greater, you're now circling the one that's less. You're right. So which one is less, 4 or 5? 4. Good work. Let's try this next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Remember, you're circling the one that's less. 2. I want you to try the rest of the ones that are in this section. Remember to circle the ones that are less. The last thing you're going to do is compare the numbers. Write a G for greater than or an L for less than. So you're going to take a peek at both the numbers. You're going to compare 2 and 3. Is 2 greater or less than 3? Right here it says it's less than because 2 is smaller than 3. Very good. Let's try this next one. 5 and 2. Is 5 greater than 2? Or is 5 less than 2? You're right, it's greater because 5 is more than 2. Last one. 4 and 5. Is 4 greater than 5? Or is 4 less than 5? Good work. 4 is less than 5 because it's smaller than 5. Perfect job. When you are all done with your whole entire workbook page, show it to your teacher for a star or a sticker. Or you can take a picture on Seesaw for a sticker and then move on to your next thing on your math path. Keep up the great work today, friends.